Welcome back, everybody. I'm so glad you are here. Today is August the 5th, 2025, and there's 148 days left in the year. Can you believe it? Time flies. I've been noticing it's going faster and faster. And another thing I've been noticing is that the real world is over. Absolutely. I'm wondering if anybody else is noticing this trend. And sadly, I think it's a trend that's trending downward, a spiral down the drain. The real world is over. What am I talking about? Well, I've noticed over the past 12 months some key metrics that I've just experienced and noticed that makes me believe the real world out there, outside of the rebel outpost, outside of my property, out there amongst other human beings, is just over. Let's go right into it. So the first thing I'm noticing is at grocery stores, people are just pushing their buggies over into parking spaces. Now, these are people of all age, all types, all backgrounds, and I'm seeing them do it. Oftentimes, I'll take the buggy from them and say, would you like me to put that up for you? And just the other day, a lady says, oh, I was going to put it up, but there was already a buggy right here. And I thought to myself, two wrongs don't make a right. This older lady wearing a cross necklace looked nice. I didn't say it to her, but I just thought, man, two wrongs don't make a right. She told me that the other buggy spot was too far away and she didn't know what to do. So people won't put their buggies up. It's somebody else's job. I'm constantly seeing people throw cigarettes out on the ground, right? They do it in parking lots. They do it at traffic lights. Do they not think that cigarette butts are made of paper and that is litter? I mean, it is a crime to throw litter out in most towns, but it's more of a moral issue, right? It's a moral issue because if you love the earth and you love your town and you love your community, the last thing you want to do is throw trash out, especially burning cigarette butts, but I constantly see them flicked out. In fact, I was having a conversation with a police officer, and then during our talk, he smoked 3 cigarettes and he threw them all on the ground and just stomped on them right at the courthouse. I was like, man, if this is what the police are doing, that's not a good sign. So I'm noticing that. When I go places, I'm just noticing people are not smiling anymore. I'm noticing people are down and out and not friendly or on their phones, right? I've talked about this a bunch. People are just absorbed into the telephone, right? They get that phone, they put their eyes down, and they just do this. And they can even be on a date or with other people. Hey, I'm not knocking people for being on their phone occasionally. Maybe they're checking their babysitter on camera. Maybe they're checking their stock portfolio. Who knows what they're checking? But I'm seeing it way, way too much and very little communication. And when loneliness is increasing and loneliness is becoming an issue, then it's sad to see the phones taking over. Another thing is I'm seeing an uptick of people not even wanting to go into stores, Walmart pickup. We just want to drive up to the side. Is it because it's more convenient? Possibly. I do it because I just don't want to be in Walmart. It feels dirty. People are always in a hurry, unfriendly. It's just not a great experience. So when I was at Walmart the other day picking up a few items, not one, but 2 people get out of the car and they're smoking while they're waiting. So they're just smoking. Everybody's sitting there, but they can't wait to have a cigarette and they got to get out and they're smoking amongst everybody. So you got all this smoking going on. Families aren't together. Families don't spend a lot of time together. Everybody has their own house, their own car, their own job, their own life. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but the family unit is not strong anymore. So everybody's just out there on their own. They're just floating in the ether, trying to make it and survive amongst everything that's going on. Prices of everything, real estate, groceries, eggs, cars, clothing, shoes, dog food, everything has increased, right? Everything has gone up in price because when you print trillions and trillions of dollars, the trickle-down effect is it's going to cost people more money. Inflation is a tax on the regular human being, not on the wealthy, not on the elite, just on regular people. You pay that tax. They absorb your money by increasing the price of goods while the cost of assets, which very few people actually hold assets, increases to increase their wealth so that they can earn more money without actual labor, right? Unearned income to some degree, which is taxed at a lower bracket. But the working man and woman, they don't have that kind of break. So you're seeing an increase in prices, which is just zapping the fun for most people. How about your parks? Have you been to your state parks lately? Have you been to your local parks? If you are an American, No matter what, whether you came here and filed papers and became a legal American or you were born here, you probably know what America used to be all about. And it doesn't look that way anymore at parks. When I go to parks, it is 50% people not speaking English and not doing typical activities that I would see Americans doing. I mean, it's things that are not what you would be used to. It's ways of operating. You can guess what I'm talking about. And that's more power to whoever wants to come here legally. But the fact that people come here and bring their own ways and change a country, not acceptable, not good. The real world is over if we don't do something about it. How about shopping? When's the last time you've been shopping at a shopping mall? Obviously, we talked about Walmart earlier, but have you been to a shopping mall lately and said, wow, I'm just going to go here with my girlfriend or my friends? I remember it used to be the highlight of life to get in the truck, car, SUV, take somebody, a friend, a girlfriend, and go down to the mall and look around. And maybe you buy something, maybe you don't, but you buy something and then you go out to eat to a unique restaurant that's not in your town. Back in the day, it was Chipotle, or also we had Carrabba's Grill on the border. I know those aren't very impressive, but those were good restaurants when you're young, when you're 18, 19, 22, 24. And we used to go do that, and it was a fun event, and the drive was nice. Now it's traffic. Now it's crime in the mall, people getting stabbed, murdered, all kinds of crazy stuff. And these are in decent areas, right? The towns we used to travel to and go to. So it just makes me wonder, what is the real world anymore? And I guess sitting here at my rebel outpost, secured in with a gate, cameras, dog, animals, other things I can't mention, firearms, I can mention those. As I sit here protected, growing food, doing my best out here, I'm reminded, unfortunately, why I decided to change my whole life up. Why I decided to come out into the woods and build a whole new life. Self-reliance, more solo time, more independent. It's not just the government oppression. It's not just Big Brother's watchful eyes. It's also the regular, real world out there. The fun has been zapped out of it. The respect seems to be gone. And it's amazing because sometimes you get a hint of the way it used to be. You're dealing with a young retail worker and he or she is extremely kind, helpful, and respectful. And it just brings you right back, right? It brings you back to how things used to be when people used to look out for each other. But the new world, the world we're in right now, is zero fun. It is zero fun, not enjoyable. Even when you just drive your car down the road, I've mentioned this many times, but you get tailgated, even if you're going 10 miles an hour over. I drive 4 or 5 miles an hour over on these back residential roads, and I still get tailgated. And it's people of all ages. College girls tailgate me. I can see them in the rearview mirror. Construction workers, guys in F-250s, everybody's in a hurry. And I contribute that to everybody's in debt. They need to make more money. They've got children and spouses relying on them. They've got billing companies and mortgage companies, banks that are requiring them to make a certain amount of money, and that's putting pressure on them. And so it's just a pressure cooker for a majority of people. And maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe they're just in a hurry, but it's almost every single day. Drive fast, be angry, be in a hurry, be short with each other. Man, the real world is no fun anymore. The real world, in my opinion, is over. So what can we do? I think the best thing that we can do is build our own new world right where you are. If you're in an apartment, if you're in a home, if you are out on a farm, envision what you want it to look like for you and your family. Begin to build that. Do you want your own food supply? Do you want your own activities? You don't have to go to the movie theater. Oh, that's another thing. Go to the movie theater. People have their feet up. They're talking, groups of people. I don't go to movie theaters anymore, and it's a shame. I miss it. Maybe I'm missing out by not doing these things, but I just no longer enjoy that part of the real world. For folks out there that do, that are in bars and restaurants and movie theaters and stadiums, I don't see how you're doing it. Maybe you don't remember how it was. Maybe you don't care. Maybe it's me. But I just think that the real world is over, and it is going to have to be destroyed, torn down before the majority of people realize that we have a problem. That problem to fix is going to be very difficult. It'll be 50-50 whether or not we actually have the backbone to solve it. And at that point, it might be too late. It may be too late already. But at that point, some really hard solutions will have to be implemented in order to solve the problem. So is it better to solve it now before it's terrible, terrible? You bet. But are we far enough down the line where it's already pretty bad and might not be solvable? Yes. So wherever you are in life, stay strong, stay healthy, get out of debt, be focused on the right things. Keep your eyes on the one who gives life. You know who I'm talking about? The Lord Jesus Christ. Believe in God, have faith, treat each other with love, kindness, compassion. Try to slow your living down if you can. Work hard, but spend time with friends and family. Get out in nature. Do what you can. And I highly suggest sell that house in the HOA. Move out onto some land. Do what you can do to have auxiliary extra income. Is that a thing? Auxiliary income? Extra income sources. I don't mean just driving Uber. I mean, make a product, grow honey, grow vegetables, make something and sell it on Etsy, program websites, write code, whatever you train dogs, whatever you can do, fight to get out of debt. Be careful out there in the world. Stay strong, stay focused, stay wild, and stay free. Thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you on the next one. Hit the like button if you want to. If not, no worries. Thanks for being here.